second victim. Thankfully, this injured student was still conscious.
Okay, just breathe, okay? Ready? Okay, guys, so we got a scene here. We got a scene here, so 106. We just want armed escort. We're coming out. We got you. Where's the medic? Medics! Left.
A second victim was not the only thing police found. A boy with purple hair, matching the description of the second shooter, turned up in one of the classrooms.
We just got one in here?
What is your name?
Devin Erickson.
Who?
Devin Erickson.
Evan Erickson?
Devin Erickson. With the DEVONERICKSON. Do you have him or somebody else? Because I know what he had on him.
What?
And he's transgender, so he's gonna have a binder on underneath, a black binder on.
And this is Alex?
This is Alec. A-L-E-C. Alec McKinley.
Devin was 18 years old, but at 16, Alec was still a minor. Speaking of Alec, out in the hall, police witnessed increasingly strange behavior.
Stop!
Stop what?
They will stop talking! Stop!
Are there only two of you?
Yes.
You're positive.
Yes. They're telling me to run.
What?
They're telling me to run with your foot on me.
You're not going anywhere, trust me. You move something, you're gonna get broken, you understand that? You stay right there.
Police would learn more about what to make of this strange outburst later. In that moment, Alec provided the first clue in a series of increasingly harrowing items of evidence investigators would discover.
A pink iPhone 6S.
Yeah, what about it?
Charge it, and I have videos.
Videos of what?
Me making Devin do all this.
In the other room, Devin was telling police the exact same thing.
He was making me give him a bunch of stuff, and then there's me. I was just supposed to watch the door because it was the only way he was gonna let me live. I have proof. You know, my house might be on fire as well. It's next to Thunder Ridge. He tried to light my mom's car on fire. There's animals in the house.
Lou, it sent somebody to his house too.
What's that?
It sent somebody to his house. You
He
said
tried
they
to
tried
light my
to light his
mom's
house
car
on fire.
and my pets are in there. They didn't want to hurt it.
These guys here in a minute. Stand by. We're gonna move them out.
Listen, I need to know any other people involved in this.
Any of the people involved? I don't think so, but there's a chest rig in my car though that he had. I don't know if he put anything in the pockets.
All right. Okay. You ready to go? Yeah.
Alec was also ready for transport.
We're ready? All right. Roll to me. Hold on just a sec. Sorry. Coming out.
Alec and Devin might have gotten to leave, but for law enforcement and everyone else at the school, things were only just beginning. The rest of the school still needed to be cleared, and the students evacuated.
Police, open the door! Open the door!
Has also been cleared.
Hands up! Hands up! Hands up!
I need key access to check the
Hands up! Hands up! Hands up! Everyone, keep your hands up. You're okay. You guys are doing okay. Thank you, sir. Hands up. You're okay. Keep moving.
Come with me. We're gonna look over that way. We're gonna look over this way. We're gonna go this way. One over there. Let's go over there. Let's go over there. See those guys waving over there? Let's go over there.
9 victims in total were identified. The uninjured students were evacuated to a nearby rec center to unite with their families. Officers would remain stationed at the school as well. Those on scene tried to make sense of the situation as they kept the scene secure.
Yes, the man had like purple hair and whatever. Probably playing the Joker role.
Devin, the suspect with purple hair, continued to exhibit signs of distress as he arrived at the police station. He waited in an interrogation room while the police dealt with his companion Alec. Alec's arrival and interrogation did not go nearly as smoothly. At only 16 years old, Alec's mother needed to be contacted before questioning could take place. But this was not the only issue. The bullet was collected, and Alec's hands were also placed in paper bags to preserve evidence like gunshot residue for crime scene technicians. After these tasks were complete, it wasn't long before Alec's mother, Morgan, was brought in.
Do you know me? Do you know
Has your name officially been changed to Alec? It's Maya? Okay. But I will call you Alec.
Because Alec was a minor, the detectives read the required Miranda rights to both Alec and Morgan. Alec remained willing to talk.
Do you agree to answer questions with me without a lawyer? Okay. Mom, this sign here, say that he's waiving his rights. He's gonna talk to me without a lawyer. So you also have a right. Mom can stay in. Mom can.
The detectives gave Alec and Morgan a moment to talk things over and come to an agreement on how to proceed.
you have nothing? You doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. You know that. Don't do it. Just do it.
They eventually agreed that Alec would converse with the detectives alone, and Morgan signed off on Alec's waiver of rights before stepping out. A crime scene technician entered next to collect swabs of Alec's hands to test for gunshot residue and take booking photos.
You sure someone watches my mom? Something with her.
According to police reports and what Alec later shared with the investigators, Alec's mother suffered from stress-induced seizures and other medical conditions. When the CSI technician had finished her work, the detectives returned to get to the heart of the matter.
Are you sure you're physically okay? Okay. And I just need to ask, is there one or two of you? Is there a third out there that helped you? So it's the two of you?
Several rooms over, Devin was also prepped for interrogation. However, the conversation police were about to have would not go anything like they expected.
Have you had your rights?
I know all my rights, I just want you guys to get them.
Okay. I'm going.
That's why I'm talking so much.
All right. How long have you known Alec for?
I've known Alec for really just this semester.
With Alec, the detectives began with a similar line of questioning.
How long have you known there?
Since the beginning of this year.
How has STEM been?
Probably the worst experience.
Tell me why.
Well, on top of being transgender, I got a lot of crap for that.
How long have you been Alec?
I came out to my friends in about 8th grade.
8th grade? Okay. Has the transition been smooth or has it been rough or what's been going
It's
on
been
with
really
that?
hard.
Tell me why it's been really hard.
I just have to live with the fact that no one sees me for me, and I will never be who I want to be. Anything I'm not a boy, I'm not a girl, I'm just nothing. So I've been ready for this for a couple weeks now, and I texted Devin and I said, let's hang out, basically. And then I was talking to him about it, and he was like, why? Like, what's your motive? And I was talking about how I know what people say about me. I'm not dumb. I gave them a reason to be scared because they need to think about what you really say can drive someone to do this.
Alec agreed to let the police download data from the pink iPhone mentioned earlier, including social media apps. The most information was found on Snapchat and told investigators that there was much more to the case than first met the eye. Devin's electronics and social media were also under the microscope, but the most obvious red flags were found on Alec's accounts.
When I go to jail, can you keep my streaks?
So don't you just love it when you're having a wonderful day and depression comes just to an end?
Then take the trash out.
This was just the tip of the iceberg in regards to what investigators unearthed on Alec's electronics. Before doing a deep dive into Alec's social media, though, Devin continued to relay the events that took place that morning.
Going back to this morning, you happened to see Alec. When did you first see him?
My psychology class, I told Miss Info on writing on my backpack so you know I about it so that I could leave
met up with David as well. Who's David? He's one of my friends since 6th grade.
David confirmed that he met up with Devin that morning around 8:30.
I was giving him hugs because of how happy I was feeling, that he was doing so good.
David stated that Devin used substances and had apparently been doing so with increasing frequency over the last semester.
And recently it's just been getting worse. His drug use has been getting more significant, I want to say, in the past month.
David would have more insight to share later. However, it looks like Devin may not have been the only one with a substance abuse problem.
Do you know if he was on medications or anything? He used to have them. I think he was saying that his mom took them away. So he was on cocaine now.
Devin also shared that someone had spread an explicit rumor at STEM about Alec, which had been very upsetting. Still, Devin said he'd never expected Alec to take such horrific action. While speaking with detectives, Alec reported that life at home was just as tumultuous as it was at school. According to Alec and Morgan, Alec's father, Jose, was no longer in the picture, and currently 14 family members were all living under the same roof. Alec's mom, Morgan, consented to let police execute a search warrant on the family house. However, nothing was found in regards to the shooting. All the evidence, it seemed, would be found in the school and witness statements.
I'm sorry if I'm not totally clear-headed. I'm still trying to wrap my mind around this life's totally hosed now. Totally hosed.
In the interrogation room with Devin, he told police more about what led up to the violent outburst at STEM school.
Last night he told me not to come to school tomorrow, and I saved it, and I wanted to visit my friends because I have a lot of friends at that school. And then I saved that message, and then I was going to tell my friends. It's saved on Snapchat on my phone, and I was going to tell my friends, and that's when he started threatening me. What else did he tell you? He told me that he was just super. He wanted to get revenge on a lot of people. He told me he was considering killing his mom and his siblings too, because he hates them, but he didn't do that. I kept telling him not to. And he said he was going to kill me if I told anyone, and the only way I'd let him live is if he helped me.
Back with Alec, the police asked more about the planning process and Devin's role. If Devin was as innocent as he claimed, the detectives needed to understand why he had a firearm in his hands.
Had you guys talked about this last night? Yeah. He was saying something about a Snapchat text message conversation. Tell me about that.
Basically, we'd come up with a code name for this, and we would joke about it all the time. Game Revoke is what we called it.
And specifically, what were you calling Game Revoke? What was the code word?
Like a gun was our code word or Game Revoke was our code word for a gun.
There was another code word Devin and Alec had too. The meaning behind it and the implications of its use would change everything.
It was like, are you down to, like, jokingly, I was like, are you down? And he was like, haha, that's funny. Like, haha, yeah. But really it was like, I wasn't kidding. And he, like, was ready to tell the office or someone what was going on. But I was like, you'd really do that to your best friend. Like, this is what best friends are for. Like, you're with me till the end, and this is the end.
I didn't think he was really going to do it. I never thought he could actually do that because he never seemed like that crazy. He didn't seem like evil. He just seemed sad and like lonely.
At school, I'm a completely different person. No one would ever have guessed this from me.
What kind of person are you at school?
I try to be friends with everyone. I'm a people pleaser, and I kind of let people walk all over me.
Don't laugh at me.
Walk, walk. Pose. Got any penis enlargement pills?
As they continued investigating, police had to wonder what changed in Alec's approach. Morgan McKinney, Alec's mom, had her own theory.
All these years, I've never told my kid not to hang out with a certain somebody. And about 3 months ago, I told him to stop hanging out with the... And then Devin, I'm not relevant at this time, but, and just different, you know, and I was like, I just don't like the way he's rubbing off on you. And, you know, I was like, you need to focus on you right now.
Alec's Snapchat revealed the side of Devin that Morgan might have found concerning. Just how much of a role Devin's influence played on the stim attack would come out in due time. For now, though, Alec offered this explanation.
Really, there was like a breaking point last night with my siblings. They don't care. Like, no one cares. So I'm finally gonna give in to my thoughts, because what's the point of trying to protect everyone else?
It's a big virus.
Only yesterday.
As Alec shared more about the triggering moment before taking the lead on the shooting, Devin's assistance in the horrid attack began to take shape.
Did something happen at school this week, or what help me understand what the big thing, the analogy you always hear, the straw that broke the camel's back? What was that?
This kid kept calling me by my biological name, and that's what made me lose it.
Devin agreed that Alec's mood had been noticeably different that morning.
Today was like when it really got scary. It was like a different person kind of like seeing him. That to me was like, okay, maybe Alec is really like going like crazy this time.
According to Alec, Devin's uncertainty had been a part of the plan all along.
He's an idiot. He's a complete idiot. So basically anything I say, he would be like, okay, because I'm his best friend.
Forensic research has found that in cases where there's more than one perpetrator, there's always an alpha figure to execute the plan. While there can be multiple submissive characters, there's only one dominant personality. Devin's guidance counselor, Ms. Wright, had also shared some insight on the subject with the police.
Alec is weird. He gravitates to vulnerable people. Okay. Do you know what I mean? Devin's very vulnerable.
Is Alec bullied in any ways?
I feel that Alec is a bully.
This would require a lot more investigation, but for the time being, the detectives prioritized establishing a timeline of events from both Devin's and Alec's perspectives.
Originally, I was gonna figure out a way for someone to buy me a gun, but no one would. And then Devin and I had a conversation where he was like, yeah, my parents have like a couple guns in their house.
In the other room, Devin continued his harrowing version of that morning's events.
I left school, went back to my house, and as I was about to go inside, I opened the garage, and then Alec messaged me.
Why were you back to your house?
I was going back to my house because I was going to call the police. That's when I picked him up and went back to my house, and that's when he kind of seemed a little off. And then we went into my basement, and that was when he pulled out the cocaine the first time. And I told him, I was like, I'm not down with this. Like, you were going kind of too far, and it scared me a little bit. And I was like, I don't want you to hurt anybody at school or anything like that. I really think you need help. And that was when he started really threatening me.
Did you use the cocaine when you pulled it out?
Not the first time.
What did he do with the cocaine?
He did one line of it, and then we went upstairs.
According to Alec, things only escalated from there.
You said you broke into his house?
I didn't break into his house. I like trashed it.
How did you trash?
I went through looking for the key to the safe originally, and I trashed looking for it.
He knows from other times I've told him that my dad had 4 guns in the safe up in my mom's room, but it was locked and I didn't know where the keys were.
That morning, though, the lack of keys was little more than a speed bump.
And then I let him do the safe, and that's when he hit it a few times and then told me to pull it out, and he made me pull it out.
What did he hit it with?
The axe he got in my garage.
I was just like holding it up and I was like, do it.
Okay, and what happened after that?
He just kept crying and opening the safe. And He had to help me pry it open.
According to the videos found on Alec's phone, this appeared to be the truth.
Open it!
Open it.
I'm trying.
Additionally, when searching Devin's house, police found the scene just like it was described. However, they still suspected something wasn't quite right about Devin's story.
He hit open the safe with the axe a bunch of times, tried with the crowbar, and that's how he pried open the door without the key. Like, popped out, he was making me help him so he didn't get too tired, because he didn't want me to be able to run away. It was wearing me out a bunch, and he just kept coming to me, telling me, I just can't anymore, and so he grabbed the crowbar and pried it open, and just, like, broke it. Basically, it's just, like, bent a bunch.
What were you writing on the walls?
The voices win.
The voices win?
Yeah.
And where did you write that?
In his mom's closet.
More about these mysterious voices and the nature of the writing would be investigated in due time. Back with Devin, he told police everything he and Alec took out of the safe.
And he got all the guns, put them in his backpack, and then he told me to follow him, which is when he recorded the video of making me do the cocaine because he was holding the gun to my head.
Do it.
Sorry.
Hurry the f up!
Had you ever done cocaine prior to that?
No, I couldn't do all of it because it was like freaking me out too much.
Who loaded the guns?
Alec loaded all the guns, yeah.
So all the guns were unloaded then?
Yeah, he made me hand him the ammo because he grabbed all the guns and he loaded all the guns. I had to help him carry some stuff, but I carried the ammo and I didn't touch the guns until he made me put them in the guitar case because he wanted it to be inconspicuous.
In the other room, Alec admitted to vandalizing Devin's mom's car and explained more about the reason.
So after you set mom's car on fire, his mom's car on fire? Tell me about that.
He spray painted it, and then I put gasoline all over it, and then he lit it on fire.
When searching Devin's house, the police had seen this for themselves. The side of the car was tagged with the number 666, a pentagram, and the phrase, Society. The interior showed evidence of burning, but the fire had apparently gone out before the conflagration spread. In a story full of disturbing details, what Alec said next was perhaps the most hair-raising fact so far.
How did you guys get in this group when you got there?
Oh, we just walked in.
So tell me when you get to Miss Huffman's room, what happens?
I lie and say, I need to talk to this kid. When really I didn't want the room. And basically, my aunt was in there for what reason, I don't know. And I was like, you need to leave.
Grace, Alec's aunt, who goes to the same school, spoke with police too and shared her memories of the interaction.
He said that Devin was kind of upset and he thought he was going to get in a fight with our friend. He said he was going to calm Devin down.
Speaking of counselors, that morning, Devin's guidance counselor had been trying to track him down anyway. According to her, he was not on track to graduate in 3 days since he was failing all of his classes.
Do you think he knew what was going to happen?
I hope not, but I feel like that's a possibility.
Devin, meanwhile, tried to explain his plan.
I was still kind of trying to talk him out of it and get help, but my plan was to leave. And then I was going to go to the office and I was going to tell them anyways. Because I was just going to leave my suitcase, or not the suitcase, the guitar case in there. Because the suitcase can't handle. I was just going to I left it in there and I went to the office and told Miss Harper I was sick. Mitchell walked me to the office because she told him to.
You went, so you want to go, why did you want to go to the office?
Because I wanted to see if I could just report him and get anything, but he threatened me. He said he was still going to kill people over the over the phone. He said he would kill me and everybody in the office.
Mitchell, another senior at STEM, had no idea what was about to happen, but reportedly had problems with Alec.
Do you know Mitchell?
I never talk to him. I try not to associate with him. Basically, all I ever hear about him is how he hates me.
How do you hear that he's saying all this stuff?
Through Devin.
Okay. How is Devin hearing it?
Because that's all Mitchell talks about, apparently.
When the police spoke with Mitchell directly, though, he did not mention having any issue with Alec. However, he did report an incident with Devin that took place a few months earlier.
And I was like, hey, Devin, and he was ignoring me.
And then I said, is the skinwalker of death or something like that? And then he turned around, well, at least I'm gonna loop away with me. And I'm not gonna lie, and thought had crossed my mind that he would seem like kind of the person who would try to harm other students. Very sarcastic and generally kind of mean with his remarks.
Mitchell would have more to add to the investigation later. For now, the detectives continued to question Devin.
Why didn't you tell Mitchell?
Why didn't I tell Mitchell?
You walked to the office.
Because I didn't want him to like freak out about anything. I wanted to get to the office so I could tell an adult and get the security officer so no one like freaked out.
Okay. So you go back to the office, then what?
They gave me some water and stuff because I said I was like feeling sick and dehydrated. Because I was like all sweaty and like freaked out from the cocaine because I just kept running trying to delay and get him to change his mind. And then they gave me an ice pack and some water. I drank all the water with the ice pack on my head. Then they left the room and closed the door, and that's when I checked my phone and saw his thing.
Devin hadn't been shy about expressing this exact concern to the officers on scene at the school, as he insisted that he only wanted to save everyone.
He came to the door outside of the office. He Snapchat messaged me that he was going to rush the office and kill me and everyone in there if I didn't come back.
And I was like just super freaked out because I mean this is the worst thing I've ever been through. Like, I can't remain calm when he's doing that. I was just so freaked out and like shaky when I got there.
When you guys were walking down that hallway, did you guys talk about it? How did you guys decide what doors to go? Tell me about that.
I said you cover the other door, so we went through separate doors.
Devin picked up the story when he and Alec entered Miss Harper's room.
So you both enter at the same time?
I think so. And I set down the suitcase and I went tried to get to leave one more time, but it seemed like he wasn't listening to me and he was pissed off, so I grabbed the suitcase and I was gonna leave, but then I saw Alec like look at me and like kind of like nod at me because he knew I was trying to leave because I opened the door again and then I closed it and just opened the suitcase and told everybody to stay down, not move. And then I was just gonna run.
Alec, however, added a tiny detail that had the potential to change everything.
He picks up the guitar case, acts like he's gonna leave, tells Miss Harper that he's leaving, and then goes to the door and takes off the magnet slip so no one from the outside could get in.
The magnet was a standard security feature on all the doors at STEM school that were instituted as part of the lockdown protocol. If moved from their place, the strips would immediately lock the doors, securing everyone inside and locking out anyone who is outside the room. The police likely wondered why Devin hadn't addressed this tiny detail if he was an unwilling participant, but they would return to this later. In the course of the investigation, the police also spoke with Ms. Harper, the teacher in room 107 when the shooting took place.
Grabs the guitar case. It's kind of really loud. Shuffling, shuffling, shuffling. Just to the point now where it's getting weird. Like, I'm like, why are you being so loud, child? And I thought he was just being rude to his classmates. In front of the door, he drops the guitar case, blocking the door. That's when I saw him pull the gun.
Back with Devin, the police tried to clarify more details.
Who pulled out a gun first?
Alec was pulling it out, and that's when I pulled mine out and told everyone not to move because I saw Alec reach for it because I was told what he was going to do.
Devin said, nobody move. And then that's when everyone started freaking out. And that's when, like, everything goes blurry. I still can't comprehend the fact that I did that. And, like, I still can't comprehend what I did.
A video clip from Snapchat hinted that this might not have been an entirely foreign feeling for Alec.
I feel like this isn't real.
What was Devin doing? Could you see him?
No, there was like a crowd of people jumping towards him, trying to get the gun away from Devin. And then there was the other half of the class was going towards me. And so that's when I was like shooting aimlessly.
Kendrick and Brendan both at the same time just rushed against me, and they tackled me and hit me, which is when the gun I was holding went off.
It was so quick. It was as if he said, "Brandon, don't move," and then all of a sudden, bam,
told Kendrick and Brendan when they were rushing me, I started to yell no. And I was like trying to throw it down, and that's when I threw it down. And I was like, Brendan, no, I'm serious. Here's the gun, but there's another gun over there. Alec has 2 guns. He has a Beretta and a revolver, and he's trying to kill everyone.
When the police talked to Brendan directly, he said that's not how his confrontation with Devin went at all.
At that moment, my brain went, this has to be a joke. This was nanoseconds. Like, no, it's nanoseconds because of how fast things went. Kendrick shot up, and by time Devin was on the board, I was up behind Devin, delivering blows. During this confrontation, at the whiteboard where we were trying to move to the ground, I heard 1 or 2 shots. 1 or 2. During the wrestle, during the initial, when he brandished a weapon, he had maybe fired. Not too sure about that, but Josh was still was doing what he needed to do. As Devin laid on the ground and his hand was coming near, he attempted to twist the pistol back towards my and Josh's head and my head. When I saw this happening, I delivered as many blows as I could to the arm and was able to peel his fingers away from the grip of the hand. At that point, he started apologizing and he immediately stopped resisting.
Devin, on the other hand, said he never resisted at all.
And I willingly just let Brendan grab the gun and take it. I immediately told him where all the other guns were, that Alex had a gun, what his name was, and told everybody where my stuff was, where everything was. What was all I couldn't see anything because Josh and Brendan held me down. And then Brendan got all the guns gathered, and then I don't know what happened after. I was just laying on the ground telling people information so they could get out. I thought I heard more gunshots. I just heard a lot of yelling and screaming. I was just so in shock and moved down. My ears were ringing from the gunshot because it was really close to me because he tackled me, and that's why just laid down.
Alec offered an alternate perspective on the chaos that followed the initial gunshots.
I don't know who shot first, but I started freaking out because I still couldn't comprehend what I was doing. And I just started shooting randomly.
Shooting randomly at people, in the air, in the building,
Just in the air.
In the air. Tell me how you were, can you show how you were shooting?
I was just like, kind of like that.
Okay. And you were moving your hand, as you were moving your hand, were you pulling the trigger?
Yeah.
Ms. Harper, though, didn't seem to think that Alec's aim was random.
Alec, I believe, had shot at me. I had a bullet casing burn here. I tripped back and fell into the bookcase. And I fell down to the floor. I thought for a moment that Alec was standing over me to make sure I was dead, and so for a few seconds I played dead.
How many shots do you think you fired?
12.
How do you know that?
Because that's how many rounds was in the gun, and then it stopped shooting.
Alec exited the classroom, intending to get the second gun. However, the students of 107 weren't having it.
So you said that a kid tackled, he was hitting on you? Or he was hitting you?
Yeah.
Sorry. Tell me about that.
This was after I started shooting, and he went under Miss Harper's desk and jumped on me, and I tried to get out into the hallway, and then he started like banging my head against the floor, and then I like bit him to get him off me, and that's when Miss Harper like shoved him away and got on top of him.
I had Alec in my hands, and I was terrified that I didn't know all of a sudden that if Alec, pardon me, am I going to break his neck? And I'm like, is this a shooter? Is this a kid that got the gun? I don't know. So I let go. Everybody was getting out of costume screaming. I started screaming down the hallways, lockdown, 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 and my only goal was get the rest of the school on lockdown.
She succeeded. Ms. Harper and several students made it to the office, where the lockdown alarm was activated throughout all of STEM school, saving countless lives. From there, she also called 911 and reported that 2 of the students who made it out with her had gunshot wounds.
I didn't know how they did it worse and wanted everybody on lockdown so we could see. I didn't want anybody walking in the hallways if they were there. I don't want to see it.
tried to come to terms with what she lived through, Alec explained what happened after getting tackled.
And then that's when the teacher showed up, and he was in awe, and he took the gun and then put it on the floor because some kid got shot. I don't think he knew I was the one who had the gun. I think he just thought I was a kid who found the gun and screamed it out.
The teacher in question was the school IT worker, Mr. Pritchard, whose office was just across the hall from room 107. Alec was right. Mr. Pritchard had no idea that Alec was one of the shooters.
He gave it to me very easily, and so in my mind, he wasn't involved. So as I was walking into the classroom, Brandon's walking towards me with a semi-automatic pistol in his hand, and he's holding it by the barrel with the handle out towards me. He walks up to me and hands it to me, and I take it. So at that point, I have two pistols in my hands. I walk over and I see Kendrick lying at an angle towards the front wall of the classroom.
Unattended in the hall, Alec took advantage of the opportunity.
I went in, go to my backpack to get another gun because no one else knew I had that. And I was going to shoot myself, so I'm starting to walk away, and the security guard comes up with a gun in his hands and says, tells me to put it down. And I'm basically like, okay. I put the gun down, and he kneed me to the ground, put his knees on me.
The security guard, Sam, who subdued Alec, realized that something was wrong while taking his break all the way across the building. As soon as he heard the words shooting and room 107, he started running, weapon drawn. Sam spoke with the police directly multiple times.
I'm asking Alec, hey, are you alone? There's the other shooters. What's going on here? Alec's only response was, kill me now. I don't deserve to live. And things are getting louder. They're coming. I'm like, where? Alec kept replying and saying those things to me. Just kill me now. They're getting louder. I see the AR rifle and someone in plain clothes coming through the hallway. I didn't hear a breach. I didn't hear police or any of that. I yelled security and I fired a round.
One of the bullets from the friendly fire injured someone in room 106. Back with Alec, the police asked about some specific details.
Do you know if you hit any kids?
I don't, my aim's not good, so I'm not sure if I hit any kids, but I know Devin shot. He fired, and I don't know if it was me or him that hit this kid.
Do you know who that was?
I don't remember his name.
Was it a male?
Yeah.
Did you see one walk in?
All I know is he was on the ground. I could hear him, screaming.
Did you see that? Did you see that? I think Josh got hit, but I don't know if that was Alec or if it went through Kendrick, because I heard someone say exit wounds.
Statements from the witnesses revealed far more about who had been injured. As soon as Brendan noticed that Kendrick was down, he rushed to his side, while Josh kept Devin down.
I came over, immediately started tapping Kendrick, stay with me, you all right? No response. His breathing was completely staggered, his eyes were rolled back.
In the midst of all this chaos, Brendan managed to call 911. Help was nearer than he expected, though, as he was aided immediately by Mr. Pritchard, who's a former Navy sailor.
And I'd asked Brandon if there was anything I could use to apply pressure to Kendrick's wound. He didn't find anything, so I just went ahead and started putting pressure with my hand. At that point, he was breathing. It was like he was almost kind of moaning with some spittle coming out of his lips. And I see Josh laying on top of Devin. And I looked and I saw Josh had some blood marks on his legs, but it didn't look like they were growing, so I just figured, okay, he's okay for now.
Devin Erickson, while still on the ground being held down by Josh, was going, Alec made me do it, I'm sorry, it wasn't my fault, and then just threw an absolute fit of aggravation. I got it in his face and I screamed as loud as I could, shut the fuck up. And then Mr. Pritchard then responded with, please don't do that, keep your voice down. Devin then responded, there's a jacket out in the hallway to put pressure on. The left doorway.
While Brendan went to get the jacket, Mr. Pritchard made a grim discovery.
I looked back over and Kendrick stopped breathing at that point, and I was fearful that he had passed. You know, I tapped him on the cheek. Hey, come on, stay with me. Checked for a pulse, didn't get one.
In the hallway, Brendan didn't find the jacket. Instead, he ran into the security guard, Alec.
And from the other end of the hallway, behind a little jut out from the size of the classroom, was a security guard who was brandishing another Glock, and he told me to drop to the ground. I immediately did, and I yelled, 2 students have been shot, 2 students have been shot, I do not have a gun, we have one of the shooters in there. He then told me to crawl to him, and that is when I noticed that he had the second shooter, Alec, in handcuffs, off to the right side of the hallway.
How long do you think that all took?
Oh,